Welcome back. Edinburgh and Glasgow have the lowest food safety standards in Scotland, a recent report has revealed. The study by which found that the capital was ranked bottom in Scotland, as well as the 8th lowest ranking local authority area in the UK, while Glasgow was the 2nd lowest. We sent our reporter Claire McNeil along to a college cookery class to see how trainee chefs are taught about proper food and hygiene standards right from the start of their careers.
Take your knife through like so.
Here at West College, Sandra Bell teaches her students that it's not just about how your food tastes, but how safe it is crucial.
All food can be dangerous. Cross-contamination is a big thing. If we use the same chopping boards, same knives to cut raw and cooked food, that can cause a big risk.
The kitchen isn't just a place for culinary creativity to flourish, but bacteria too.
Well, first and foremost, it's your temperature in the kitchen. Okay, you have to keep it as cool as you possibly can. You have to keep the food in that danger zone for as short a time as possible, and then it has to be put into the fridge. It's important to realise where you're putting the food in the fridge. Is it still raw, so it would go at the bottom of the fridge, so it's not dripping onto ready-to-eat foods, your chopping boards, your chopping knives, your contact surfaces. Okay, anything that you're touching, anything that the food is touching is a risk.
There are a few common kitchen faux pas that people often make.
A lot of people wash raw meat. That's the big thing. People come in, their granny, their mums all did it, and they think it's common practice. But they don't have to wash it, because when they wash it, it's splashing all over the kitchen, and that's a big danger. A lot of folk reheat rice. They don't reheat it to a high enough temperature, so it's not killing off any bugs that are already in the rice, because the bacteria that's associated with the rice can actually protect itself. It puts on like a wee spore coat, and it's very difficult to kill that. Food hygiene is all about keeping food safe and preventing people from getting sick ultimately, and it's really important that the students realise this from day one of being in a kitchen.
Food for thought indeed there. Well, with me is John Sleeth, who's the Director of Professional Development with the Royal Environmental Health Institute of Scotland. Welcome to the studio, John.
Hello.
Surveys like this can be quite unsettling for consumers, but what have Glasgow and Edinburgh had to say about it?
Well, I think environmental health managers there will say that these statistics are not a very reliable indicator of how they protect the public. Public protection is paramount, and their teams of officers will be going out to food premises and inspecting them regularly and prioritising which ones need to be done in order. And if there are any problems, then they will deal with that. So basically, if food premises are open, they'll be safe. If they're not safe, they won't be open.
Okay, I mean, Glasgow and Edinburgh did rank very, very low in this survey. Is that a true reflection of what's happening in these cities?
Probably not. There are a number of ways that they count these statistics that probably don't reflect what is going on. For example, in my previous authority, we registered childminders and didn't rate them in the categories high, medium or low risk. We knew they were low risk and didn't inspect them. Now they showed up as being bad statistics, so you know there's usually an underlying story behind them. Okay. So I wouldn't put too much faith in these statistics, and I think people can be assured that inspections are being carried out on their behalf.
Yeah, we shouldn't be too worried then about going out and about in those cities. How tightly regulated is the food industry in Scotland?
We've got very good regulations. All food premises need to be registered with the local authority environmental health department. These premises will all be ranked and risk assessed in accordance with a code of practice that tells us what priority they need to be visited in. The more high risk premises and the ones that aren't complying will be inspected regularly and routinely, and the ones that are lower risk will be inspected a wee bit less frequently.
Why would some businesses be higher risk than others?
Well, if they've been visited and they're not complying already, or if the structure of the premises isn't suitable, then there would be improvements required, and they would need to be followed up. So there would be more frequent visits in that sense. Also, if they're handling very high-risk foods, food products that need very careful preparation and handling, then that puts them in a higher risk category.
Okay. So environmental health officers are carrying out these regular checks. What are the kind of things they're looking for when they go into premises? Well, a number of things. They look at the structure of the premises to begin with. Are the premises and the equipment suitable for the purpose? They'll also be looking at the training of the staff to make sure that they are properly trained in food hygiene. And that will be dependent on the activity involved. There are different levels of food hygiene training. They'll also be looking at the methods of handling food, how it's handled and prepared and stored, and what food management system is in place for dealing with all of these things. Okay, well, we'll have a little bit more of a chat later on, John, but good food hygiene shouldn't just be restricted to restaurants. It's just as important to be food safe in your own home. Here are some quick facts that perhaps you didn't know.
Did you know your dish towel has the most bacteria than anywhere else in the kitchen, so it's best to let your dishes drip dry?
You shouldn't keep any raw or ready-to-eat food for more than 2 hours at room temperature because bacteria multiply.
Did you know a chicken mayonnaise sandwich is more risk of bacteria than raw chicken because you're cooking raw chicken, so you're killing any bacteria?
You shouldn't put hot food in the fridge because it raises the temperature of the fridge and puts the other foods at risk.
You should always keep your fridge below 5 degrees to stop bacteria from multiplying.
So some interesting ones there, but John, what are some of the things you've found when you've been out in inspections? Well, in serious cases we've found infestations of pests or of insects, or totally inadequate cleaning, or staff who simply aren't trained in how to prepare food properly. And any one of these or any combination of these can usually mean that there's a very high risk of poisoning somebody or a danger to the public. So in that case, environmental health staff would take action in either recommending closure of the premises or stopping a certain aspect of the process that could be dangerous. When does the law get involved? When does it become a legal issue for businesses? Well, officers have legal powers to enter premises and carry out inspections at any time during the trading hours. And they have legal powers to issue written warnings if food hygiene law is being breached. In more serious cases, legal notices can be served requiring certain works to be done within a certain time to bring it up to scratch. And ultimately, premises can be closed on the spot if need be, emergency closures, and prosecution can happen as well. So what's your advice to consumers then? What should people look out for or be concerned about if they are going out to eat somewhere? Well, if consumers, while they're in premises, see something that they think doesn't look quite right, then they're quite entitled to report it to the local environmental health department. We'll be quite happy to look into the issue and make sure that things are being complied with. Okay, that's great. So we'll keep our eyes peeled then is the best thing, isn't it? And any concerns, to get in touch. Fantastic. Thank you very much, John Sleath, for coming in to speak to us tonight.
You're welcome.
Now remember, you can get in touch with us if there's a story you think we should know about or an issue you want us to highlight. You can contact any of our reporters by Facebook or Twitter and keep up to date on the STV News app. And that's it for now. From all of us here on the news team, do enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night.